Swadika, good morning and welcome to the morning edition of NBT World Brief. I'm Tra Tirakausan. The Prime Minister says His Majesty the King has expressed deep concern for flood-hit communities in the south and has provided both financial assistance and moral support as the government accelerates recovery efforts. Prime Minister Anutin Chanvirakul has revealed that His Majesty the King is closely following the severe flood situation in the Deep South, a disaster that has caused extensive loss of life and property across multiple provinces. During yesterday's meeting of the Economic Policy Committee, the Prime Minister said His Majesty has expressed profound sorrow for those who lost their lives and their families. His Majesty has granted 100 million baht to support relief and recovery operations and has also provided 20,000 baht per family to the relatives of all flood victims. A royal message delivered to the Prime Minister on November 29th noted His Majesty's concern for affected residents, medical teams, volunteer workers, and officials in hard-hit areas. His Majesty also placed all victims of the disaster under royal patronage. His Majesty the King also praised medical personnel at Hat Yai Hospital, Songkhla Nakharin Hospital, and medical and volunteer teams who have been working tirelessly despite overwhelming conditions. As for the latest situation, the Prime Minister said the floods are receding in nearly all affected areas, though pockets of inundation remain. He said rehabilitation and financial relief will move forward urgently.
เรื่องสำคัญนะครับในเบื้องต้นที่จะเร่งดูแลพี่น้องประชาชนเหล่านั้นได้ก็คือการจ่ายเงินเยียวยานะครับทั้งเยียวยาในรายครัวเรือนทั้งเยียวยาในเรื่องของผู้เสียชีวิตผมได้สั่งการให้กระทรวงมหาดไทยนะครับได้เร่งนำเสนอเรื่องเนื่องจากจะเป็นหน่วยงานรับงบประมาณนะครับที่จะเยียวยาครอบครัวผู้เสียทุกอย่างนะครับทุกครอบครัวผู้ประสบภัยตัวผู้ประสบภัยเองนะครับ
Thailand has set a 3.78 trillion baht expenditure budget for the fiscal year 2027, with Prime Minister Anutin Chanvirakul urging government agencies to align with the medium-term fiscal strategy. The budget will be prepared under a deficit framework, but with a commitment to reducing the deficit to avoid future burdens and maintain public debt at sustainable levels. Prime Minister Anutin emphasized that maintaining financial discipline is essential to secure the country's economic stability. The budget planning comes as Thailand faces simultaneous challenges, including sluggish economic growth, an aging population, rising inequality, and increasingly unpredictable weather conditions. These obstacles require substantial government spending to manage risks while advancing development. The Premier highlighted that digital systems and new technologies must be integrated to enhance national efficiency. The government set 5 core policy priorities covering economy, foreign relations, social welfare, natural disasters, and environmental protection and public administration. It also aims to lay strong foundations for long-term national growth through investment in education, healthcare systems, transport and logistics infrastructure, renewable energy, energy-saving technologies, and high-quality digital networks. All government agencies were instructed to prepare budget proposals that are transparent, efficient, and cost-effective, while increasing the proportion of long-term investment. The economic toll from the southern floods has soared past 500 billion baht, affecting millions of people. The government is now rolling out an urgent multi-phase relief and recovery plan to help families and businesses rebuild. According to the government's latest assessment, flood damage in southern Thailand has exceeded 500 billion baht. Millions of people have been impacted by the weeks-long disaster, which has destroyed homes, farms, and public utilities and disrupted local economies. Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister Niti Than Prapat has chaired an emergency meeting with relevant agencies before presenting the relief package to the National Economic Policy Committee, which endorsed the plan and ordered swift implementation. He was in the economic team that visited Hat Yai on November 30th with the Prime Minister and met with the local business communities to learn their feedback and concerns. The relief package is part of the government's Quick Big Recovery framework that includes financial support, tax measures, insurance assistance, livelihood recovery, and repairs to critical infrastructure. Measures, insurance, assistance, livelihood recovery, and repairs to critical infrastructure, as stated previously. Now, Phase 1 centers on immediate relief that includes distributing supplies, setting up shelters, restoring utilities, expediting unemployment compensation, and offer tax incentives for donations to affected communities. Phase 2 and 3 will focus on economic and property recovery, including debt relief, cost of living support, and measures to revive local businesses. Under the scheme, the state-owned financial institutions will implement a 12-month freeze on principal and interest with a 0% interest rate during the moratorium for loans of up to 1 million baht per borrower.
แล้วก็ได้ออกมาตรการที่นำความเห็นของคนในพื้นที่นะครับทั้งภาคเอกชนภาคธุรกิจและภาคประชาชนเพื่อมาออกมาตรการที่เข้าครม.เศรษฐกิจในวันนี้นะครับเราจะต้องบอกว่าพักต้นพักดอกนะครับช่วยเหลือโดยการพักชำระหนี้นะครับโดยพักชำระเงินต้นและยกเว้นดอกเบี้ยนะครับไม่เกิน1 ล้านบาทต่อรายเลยนะครับเป็นระยะเวลา12 เดือน1 ปีนะครับแล้วระหว่างพักชำระหนี้ก็ดอกเบี้ย 0%อันนี้ก็คือแล้วก็ธนาคารแห่งประเทศไทยจะผ่อนเกณฑ์ให้โดยไม่ต้องเป็น NPL เลยนะครับ
Additional assistance includes emergency loans up to 100,000 baht with zero interest for 12 months, recovery loans up to 1 million baht with the same interest-free period, tax exemptions for compensation received by households and businesses, extended deadlines for Social Security contributions, support programs for rubber farmers. To reduce living costs, the government will waive customs duties on repair machinery, suspend rental fees for state properties, reduce fines on procurement contracts, lower water charges in affected areas, and deploy blue flag markets to offer affordable goods. Other measures include safety inspections of homes and public facilities, mobile business registration services, and support and export support through the Commerce Ministry. The energy regulator has approved a reduction in electricity charges for the first 4 months of 2026, aiming to ease living costs amid ongoing economic pressures. The Energy Regulatory Commission has confirmed that electricity tariffs for January to April 2026 will be lowered to 3.88 baht per unit, excluding VAT, to help reduce household expenses. Secretary General of the Commission, Dr. Poonpat Lee Sombat Phaiboon, said the decision was reached during its November 26 meeting, which reviewed the proposed fuel adjustment charge, or FT, for the upcoming period. The Electricity Generating Authority of Thailand initially proposed a rate of 3.94 baht per unit, which included repayment of 6.1 billion baht in outstanding fuel costs. However, during the public consultation period, PTT Public Company Limited revised its natural gas price outlook downward as LNG prices fell from 12.5 to 11.6 US$ per million BTU. This reduction in fuel cost projections allow the tariff to be lowered further, settling at 3.88 baht per unit, equivalent to an FT charge of 9.72 stang per unit. Dr. Poonpat emphasized that the tariff calculation strictly follows legal and technical standards while maintaining financial discipline. He said the goal is to balance energy system stability with the need to ease the financial burden on the public. The new rate will take effect from January through April 2026. And lastly, the Ministry of Culture is inviting locals and tourists to experience the magic of the country's historical sites after dark. The Ministry of Culture has announced the nationwide Night at the Museum Festival, a night tourism program organized by the Fine Arts Department for the third consecutive year. Opening ancient sites at night encourages tourists to stay longer, dine, shop, use local services, and stay overnight, bringing more income to local businesses. Now, this year, the Fine Arts Department will offer nighttime activities at 6 ancient sites. In Ayutthaya Historical Park, one of Thailand's most visited cultural destinations, night tours will take place at 5 temples and a palace building. These sites will be open for night visits every Friday to Sunday and on public holidays from 4:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. until February 2026. Visitors will enjoy illuminated ancient sites and a range of cultural activities. Wat Chai Wattanaram will serve as the main venue with activities including cultural performances, traditional Thai games, krathong floating ceremonies, an international ancient market, and traditional Thai costume photography. On December 31st of 2025, the temple will host a New Year's Eve prayer ceremony. At the Jantarakasem National Museum, Night at the Palace will feature palace tours, spiritual-themed activities, demonstrations of traditional arts, and heritage workshops from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. There will also be a Thai breed cat contest on January 11, 2026 at the Chao Sam Praya National Museum, weekend academic talks, heritage exhibitions, manuscript demonstrations, and an exhibition of Royal Thai traditional dress from the Queen's Circuit Museum of Textiles.
อย่างที่เราได้ทราบนะคะว่าจังหวัดพระนครศรีอยุธยานั้นก็เพิ่งเผชิญกับภัยพิบัตินะคะน้ำท่วมซึ่งการจัดกิจกรรมในครั้งนี้ก็ถือว่าเป็นการกระตุ้นเศรษฐกิจด้วยมิติทางวัฒนธรรมเป็นการดึงดูดนักท่องเที่ยวค่ะ
And that wraps up our morning edition of NBT World Brief. Stay updated with the latest developments and more stories by scanning the QR code on your screen to access our full coverage across all media platforms. Until next time, Sawasdee ka.